The way people have talked about the SPAC story, particularly the last couple of weeks, with concern around fraud and Nikola and things like that, makes total sense. Anytime there's a new financial innovation, there's going to be, and I know it's not a new financial innovation, but a lot of activity around a financial innovation. There's going to be a lot of issues that pop up that have to be worked out. And this happens in the private markets as well, right? Like in private markets, people lose money on investments all the time, and it's a few big winners that make the difference. I think the much more positive take on the story is it's been a decade where all of the growth in the economy has been happening in private markets, and that hasn't been something that the average retail investor has had access to. And what SPACs are being used for right now is taking companies public at an earlier stage where there's definitely more risk, but there's way more upside and way more return as well. So I think it's an exciting time for the public markets to finally have access to growth stories again that can really drive meaningful returns and, drive meaningful wealth in a broad-based distribution as well.
It's an interesting point you make, because when you look at, when you make your point, I'm thinking of immediately of Uber. And, these late stage private companies that are so late stage, you clearly wonder how much growth is left by the time they go public. And now I'm thinking of an Airbnb, which isn't even public yet, falling into the same basket of the stories you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen kind of late stage growth VC investors, which is generally, like foundations, endowments, high net worth individuals, reaping a lot of the benefits of this growth. And they can continue to reap that benefit in the public markets. But the average guy hasn't actually had the opportunity to invest in these extraordinary technologies. Now, of course, again, they're high risk and people need to build a portfolio that's well diversified to manage that risk. But that's where the growth has been. That's where the economy has been. And if you look at the next decade, that's where the future is, right? I don't think you're going to see 10 years from now much of the Fortune 500 look the same. You're going to see new names, new faces that are radically reshaping the kinds of technologies we all rely on to live our lives.